side. Stop struggling against my demons. Stop thinking life as fiction. Let it burn, burn, burn. Burn the pain, burn the lies, burn the fear inside myself, and burn it all again. It's the right time to escape.
Welcome back to a fantastic episode of the podcast. Today we have a very, very special guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Oh, hello everyone. Thank you for having me. I'm Margarita from Edge of Paradise.
And how are you today?
I'm doing good, thank you. We just had a show the other day, for first headlining show for a while, since the pandemic, so we've been excited to be back.
Definitely. So tell me a little bit about yourself and how you became a musician and lead singer.
Well, I've been a musician probably since I can remember. Since I was little, my mom gave me to piano. That's where I started. I played classical piano my whole life. And from there, I was always in music. I also did theater, I did dance. So performing arts was always part of my life. I also love to paint. But, I never really got into rock till my college years probably, and I never imagined that it would be in a band until I moved to Los Angeles and met the guitar player, and life kind of took a turn. But from, all the skills I acquired throughout, with piano, with, all the music, it was just a different style, different genre of music, but it all, helps me what I do today.
So, as far as what you guys do, how did you get started in the band you're in now?
So I met the guitar player Dave Bates, and he had a band before me. He had a band with Robin McCauley, Greg Bissonette, Tony Franklin, and they released music, but Robin went on tour with Survivor, and Dave was kind of left without a singer, and he had a lot of unreleased music. So when I moved to LA, I was working with a producer on a completely different project. I was like in this dance singing group, and he knew I played piano, so he asked me to do a song with him where I played and sang, and it kind of turned into a rock song. So we thought it would be cool to have a guitar solo in it. And, one day we needed something like a cable, and we walked into a music store, and Dave was there doing a guitar clinic, and he was playing Welcome to the Jungle. And we were like, he's great. And, we asked him to be part of the song, and that's how Dave and I met. And when I met him, he didn't have a singer. And, our visions aligned in the regard that we wanted to create something and dedicate everything to it and kind of take it to where, as far as it can go. But we came from such different styles of music, and just everything were opposite in a lot of different ways. But it really worked. And, of course, it took us years to figure out what we wanted to sound like. But, that's how the band started.
Yeah, and I've listened to quite a bit of the videos that you guys have on your YouTube channel, and I got to tell you, it's a different sound, but different in a good way. I mean, it's not something you hear all the time, and I think it's very unique.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. It's a big compliment to us because we always wanted to create something unique to us. Like when you hear like a song from, I don't know, Led Zeppelin, or you instantly hear that it's them. So that's always kind of been a dream for us, to just create a sound that people recognize. And, it's not an easy thing to, be a new band. So thank you for saying that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and I can't remember exactly how I stumbled across you guys. I think it was on, excuse me, it was definitely on YouTube. It was, I think, a suggested video, and when I clicked on it and listened to it, man, it's one of those things that it grabs you.
Oh,
And the sound is that one thing that I feel like when music grabs you, it's either the rhythm that goes along with it or the beat, and then the singer behind it, because you can tell, I feel like, a lot about the person, and as far as um, what they bring to the table and put into the music.
mhm. Thank you. Yeah. And I put my heart and soul into it, so thank you.
So, as far as gigs that you guys have done, are there any that stand out, or any that you may not have had the opportunity to perform?
Yeah. You know, um, there's kind of like the two parts where, the beginning 5 years where we were just trying to figure out what we want to sound like, and, we had a lineup, but now we're a completely different band. So let's say like before 2017, we did a lot of driving around in a van. We toured the East Coast, like, cross country 3 times, and we really paid our dues, like, the trailer on fire, blown out tires, all of that stuff. But it's just what really stands out to me is, like, when you go travel, and sometimes you play on a Monday night and there was nobody, but there's always that one person that's like, wow, you guys are the best thing I've ever seen. So that's always inspired us, because it's not easy to start a new band. And yeah, we had a lot of trials and tribulations in that regard. And then the band started to gain traction, and we got to film a music video in Iceland. We went to Japan. That really stood out to me, because it's such a different culture, and they just were so welcoming. The promoter Yutaka that brought us over, it was just so amazing how into the music people were, and just to experience the culture was really super cool. And then we got to do a European tour with Sonata Arctica, and we went to like 30 countries, and that was amazing. So, and of course, touring US, that's always, but we never really got to tour US when the band started to really pick up, because the pandemic happened. Because after we came back from Europe, we had 2 US tours lined up. One was with Hammerfall, and we were so excited. We had like a whole stage show planned, because we recently released our album Universe. And yeah, we were still hanging on till the last minute, because our tour was in September. But yeah, you know what happened. Everything just closed down for almost 2 years. So yeah.
Yeah,
But
and that definitely was rough on everyone, you
yeah,
know.
it was rough. But
Um,
when the tours got canceled, we were like, we just had to go back to the studio and make a new album. So silver lining.
yeah, and uh, in regards to creating music, or writing a new song, what kind of things go into that?
Mhm. Yeah, well, our writing process evolved. Now it's more because I play keyboards, and our sound keeps getting more cinematic, and some songs have more industrial edge, but some songs are just have that hard rock metal influence. So it depends on the song. Sometimes I kind of started on the keyboard and I arrange it, the strings, some drum samples, and put the vocals over and just have a solid demo. What we do backwards is I always record vocals first to the demo, so we know exactly what the song is. We solidify it, and then we go back and record all the instruments. But some songs, like Dave starts it on the guitar, and I get the ideas, and then vocal ideas come up, and then from there I add the keyboards and all the cinematic elements, and then go back to the studio, record the vocals, and then we go back and do drums and guitar, bass, keyboards. But our songs, it has so many layers, so it takes us a while to, make an album, make a song, and once we get all the layers recorded, we send it off to Jacob Hansen in Denmark, and he mixes it all. And then you hear it back, and you're like, wow, all that work, because it takes a lot of work, and hearing the final version is always really cool.
Yeah, and I can only imagine the creativity that goes along with trying to make a good song, along with trying to create the music that goes along with it.
Yeah, it's it took us years to really figure out what we wanted to sound like, and now listening back to some of the songs, it's cool because it's the foundation, and then you see where you started. But like the first album, Mask, we kind of took it off Spotify because I don't want people to just judge the band by that, because we're so different now. Our sound is completely different. So, but, everything is an evolution, and that's what's cool about music. When you grow as a person, the music evolves. And as long as I hope, my worst fear is like not having inspiration. So as long as we're inspired, I think we'll be good.
Definitely. Yeah. And, talking to other, music artists, it seems like you can get that inspiration just seeing something or hearing something or just experiencing something in general, and it just comes to you, and then then that creative juice starts flowing out.
Yeah, definitely, and everybody has their own process or their own thing that they get inspired by. I've always, for me, music, it's almost like an escape from reality, and I like to build, our own world, and the songs are always set in some larger than life setting, but the heart of the song is always very human, but I love the whole larger than life themes, and just have really colorful, visual lyrics that are thought-provoking. Like I just love to kind of escape reality and take people with me. So, yeah. I've always loved.
Yeah, and I know. Yeah, and for myself personally, I know that music is sometimes can be like smelling something brings back a memory or something like that. But hearing certain songs, where you were, you remember things that you wouldn't normally remember. It is like an escape. It takes you to a place in time, whether it be good or bad, and it is just one of those experiences that I don't think anything else can bring out in people.
No, you're right, and it's pretty amazing. Like I used to teach a lot singing, and I had one student, and he had pretty bad. He had like a mental disability, and he couldn't talk like a conversation. He couldn't put two words together. But when he sang, he sounded like the guy from Avenged Sevenfold, and he sang perfectly. So it always blew my mind how music just like kind of takes you into a different mind, whatever it is. But it was just always amazing how music can do that.
Yeah, it's almost like when you hear a song that you connect with, it triggers a different part of the brain, because you take like Alzheimer's patients, for instance, that wouldn't remember certain things, and you let them listen to music, and it triggers everything. It brings them back.
Yes.
For however short period of time that is.
Yeah.
So within regards to some of the things you guys have done, are there any venues that you'd like to do, or any kind of any other bands that you have toured with or haven't toured with that you'd like to?
Yeah, we have a lot of tours in the works that we're really excited about with some really cool bands. But touring Sonata Arctica was really they're a European band and they've been around for over 20 years and they're just such great guys and they have amazing fans. They're from Finland, so that was a really cool experience. But yeah, I mean, we would love to tour with Nine Inch Nails and Flames. Lots of really cool bands out there. But we do have a lot of exciting, I can't say right now because they're not announced yet, but I think, next year we're going to be seeing a lot of us. So we're excited to finally be out on the road and share the music live because that's kind of our favorite thing to do.
Yeah, I could only imagine because, I would think that being on the stage is a little more freeing, so to speak, to be a little bit more creative.
Yeah, I mean, touring is very hard and it's a lot of work and it's hard on you physically and a lot that goes into it. But there's that it's the feeling you get when you play this music live because it's different than recording it in the studio. And then people are right there experiencing it with you, and that's music that sort of brings people together, no matter where we are. It's a very special feeling, and you kind of get lost in the music, and there's nothing quite like it. So, kind of addicted to that feeling. I've missed it with this pandemic. So hopefully we don't have an alien invasion. And we can all just enjoy live music again.
Definitely, definitely. So, as far as the things that you guys have done, is there anything that kind of stands out? Other than some of the touring that you've done, as far as if you've been on any kind of shows or anything like that you've had really good experiences with?
Yeah, I mean, the tours, like recently, the album took us, it really took us the whole 2020 to create, and that was a whole experience because of just the state of the world, and we were lucky enough we were able to go to the studio, with Mike Plotnikov, and that's how we got connected with Neil from 3 Days Grace and Howard Benson, and we started to work with those guys on the album, and just the whole process. It was very memorable because I think The Unknown, which is the last album, is definitely our best music to date, and it came out of a very, I don't want to say lowest point, but we were very disappointed that we just released Universe and we got to do one tour in Europe. But we were looking forward to all these other tours, and the band started finally to pick up. And Universe album really defined our sound. So when everything just got canceled, we were very disappointed. So going and being able to create The Unknown and knowing how much those songs mean to us now, that experience is, it holds a lot of meaning just because it really sort of embodies all the years that we that made this band, because it was a lot of ups and downs, and that all kind of went into this music. Yeah, but making the music videos, because we always go to crazy locations. Like we filmed The Unknown in the middle of nowhere in a desert in the midst of the pandemic. That was an experience. So yeah, everything kind of holds its own place in my mind.
So, what is it like to make a music video?
It's stressful, but it's pretty cool. I love making videos. As the band grows, I want to keep making more and more epically stunning videos that are like movies. Because I've always loved movies, film. But it depends. Like we made, for example, The Unknown and Digital Paradise. Those music videos, we had a big crew. Scott Hansen filmed those. And, I told him, we talked about the themes I wanted. I do a lot of, I make a lot of props and, all the outfits and all that stuff. It's a lot that goes into it. Then when you go on location, it's a whole thing. You have to get everything ready, go on location, the crew is there. And Scott was great because he kind of ran those shoots. But, we got up at like 5 a.m. because we had to catch the light. Because the best light is, when the sun comes up and when the sun comes down. So those were really important parts of the day we had to capture. Then with Digital Paradise, we filmed that inside, but, that also took a lot of different challenges just to make sure that everything was, according to what we wanted it to look like. But the other videos, like the smaller ones, some videos I edited. We had someone just film them, and I edited all of them. Some videos, we filmed. Yeah, it just depends. But yeah, all the videos take a lot of work. But it's.
I guess when you're doing something that you love and enjoy, it's not really work. It's kind of just going to have fun.
Yeah, definitely, that's true. As long as everything goes smoothly.
Definitely. And that's the way it should be. I mean, everybody should have that one thing that they do that just brings joy to their life. Even if it isn't something on a scale like you guys, you want to have that joy, And I think with what you guys are doing and the sound that you guys have and the direction it seems like you guys are going in, the sky's the limit. I mean, you can only go up from here.
Thank you so much.
So, where can we find you all on social media? And I know you have a YouTube channel as well.
Yeah, well, social media, if you just search Edge of Paradise, we're on Instagram, we have a TikTok, well, on Facebook. So if you just search Edge of Paradise, we're very social. We love to hear from people. On YouTube, we have our own channel, which is YouTube/Edge of Paradise. But our music videos are on our label's channel, Frontiers Records. The best thing is just to search Edge of Paradise on YouTube, and all our videos should come up. And we recently released Welcome to the Jungle, so there's a video of that on YouTube. Yeah.
Saw that. It was very good.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a risky song to do, but we were like, we've always been a band that sort of took risks, and there's always that fear in the back of your mind, like people are gonna accept it, but at a certain point you just gotta say, I'm just gonna do it anyway, and some people like it, some people hate it, but
Yeah, I thought, Welcome to the Jungle, your version of it was very, very done very well, excuse me. And, it's hard to pull off something like that.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you think so. It was a lot of fun. I've always loved that song. Probably one of the first songs. The very first show we played, we covered that song, so it was kind of like full circle.
So, are there any bands that you'd like to do covers on?
There's so many great songs I love, but we have to, we do covers maybe in between albums, but we have a lot of, right now we're writing our next album. So everything is focused on that. But we did do a cover of Smashing Pumpkins' Disarm. It just hasn't been released yet. So that song, I didn't. Our producer Howard Benson suggested that, and at first I was like, I don't think that's a good fit. It wasn't really jiving with me. But once we covered it, I actually really fell in love with the song, and I think it came out pretty cool. So I'm excited for people to hear it. I'm not sure when we're gonna release it. Probably either at the end of the year or New Year, but we have it.
So when you are getting ready to go perform, how do you kind of get in the zone, so to speak? Is there certain things that you do, or do you listen to music, or?
Um, you know, lately it's just been things have been so hectic that you don't have time to really get in the zone. You're just thinking, okay, did I forget this? Is that all in order? Everything's been like that. But I remember when we were on tour. When you're on tour, it's a little different because that's all you're doing, and days kind of get blurred together, and you don't really know what day it is. So you have time to get in the zone. And but for me, I've always just I kind of like some space alone before the show where I can just kind of think about the songs and just calm down and get ready. But yeah, I don't have any special ritual or anything.
Well, it was definitely a lot of fun to have you on. I definitely would love to do it again. Maybe, when you guys are all together,
Maybe
that
we
would be
can
a
do
lot
it
of
one
fun.
because we're going to the UK in 2 weeks, so we can do something and tell you how the tour is going, show you some castles. I don't know where we'll be, but yeah, we'll all be together. And
That would be very cool. Yeah, just let me know. I'm game. I'll do it. No problem. It would be a lot of fun.
very cool. Yeah, I'll keep you posted.
Well, I definitely appreciate it again, and hopefully we'll talk soon. And I wish you guys all the best. It seems like you guys have starting to take the music world by storm, which is
Thank you,
great.
and we really appreciate your support. And it's always really cool that music connects us to awesome people like you. So we appreciate it, and yeah, we can't wait. I can't wait for you to meet the rest of the band, and it'll be fun, to do another one with the whole band here because they're all characters. So,
Definitely. Well, I hope you have a good rest of the night, and I will definitely
thank
talk
you
to you
so
very
much.
soon.
You as well.
All right.